Welcome back, mi gente, to Latino in the City. I'm your host, Kim Ortegas, right here at our new home, WJXE TV 15. Now, I have a question for you. Did you know that there are more Puerto Ricans in New York than there are on the island of Puerto Rico, and that Florida is only second to New York? Well, that's just an example of how the Hispanic population is exploding in the Sunshine State. And I'm not talking about Miami, Tampa, and Orlando alone. Nope, it's happening right here in Northeast Florida. Shayla has the details.
Talk to a number of major corporations and businesses looking for the Hispanic market in areas like Jacksonville, Gainesville, and South Georgia towns, and you'll get the same answer.
I remember 10, 15 years ago when I first came to Jacksonville, you could go to the Avenues Mall, for instance, and there was nobody there who could speak Spanish to help tourists.
Hearing something like that will make it difficult to convince the world that Hispanics do exist in Northeast Florida and South Georgia, and that they deserve some recognition.
The market is here. You go down the street here in downtown Jacksonville, you go again to the malls, and there are more people that you hear Spanish more than before.
In fact, according to the 2000 U.S. Census, Latinos make up over 4% of Jacksonville's population. And by 2010, the projected growth of Latinos in Duval County will hit 250% since 1990. According to a study done by UNF's Sociology Department, Metro Jacksonville is identified as a new fast-growing hub, meaning Latinos are coming here, not South and Central Florida.
We have Hispanics from Europe now, we have South America, Central America, Mexico, Puerto Rico, all those with a variety of again, cultural differences among those groups.
So how does that translate into dollars?
You don't have to go too far to see that. I think just look at the number of restaurants, for instance, Hispanic restaurants that are opening in Jacksonville in the last couple of years. Hispanics are buying more property now than ever before in Jacksonville. And
Hispanics are not only spending money in the north, but from flea markets to strip malls. They're also making it.
By the year, I think it's 2020, white Anglo-Saxons will represent only about 51% of the labor force in the community, which will pose some very interesting questions on how the community will develop economically and what we need to be doing to prepare for those changes over the next decade.
In Jacksonville alone, there are tons of Hispanic-owned businesses.
Just 5 years ago, I mean, you could see Mexican restaurants, of course, but nowadays I see Costa Rican, Peruvian, Venezuelan, Colombian, I mean, you name it, there are the number of what we call bodegas or small grocery stores opening in Jacksonville is incredible too.
What that boils down to is one simple fact. Latinos live in Northeast Florida, and according to the census trends, they'll continue to come here.
Now, with a change in the population around us, there's also a change in the culture around us, and that is the whole purpose of Latino in the City, to share our culture with you. One of the most significant things about Hispanic heritage is the way we dance. Now, there's all types of dancing, like salsa, merengue, the typical stuff, but this is a dance that you may not be used to seeing. It's called Capioera, and it's also not really a dance, but more of a fight between two people. Take a look and you'll see what I mean. Capoeira, Brazil's national sport known as the fight dance, has a long and interesting history.
Capoeira was created in Brazil about 400 or 450 years ago. No one knows exactly where, when, and how it started. But the thing that we do know is that Capoeira was created in Brazil by African slaves. So it is Afro by blood, Brazilian by place of birth. What happened was, during the slavery system in Brazil, the slaves were not supposed to train, right? So they had to disguise their fight training in some sort of dance. Because they were mimicking animal movements, they were flipping and backflipping. With the time, it started developing more and more and more in a really big show with, like, you know, flips, cartwheels, backflips, front flips, side flips, all crazy stuff.
All the while, members of the Roda are off to the side playing music and singing or chanting.
For one to dance, you need music. So the whole thing comes together.
It's the music that sets the rhythm of the fight dance to slow or fast. and the lyrics can be about anything from lost love, history, or simply what's going on in the circle.
For example, one sweeps the foot of the other, and one fall down on the floor. Okay. Then the guy that is holding the instrument starts singing something along the lines of "A canoa virou marinheiro, mas no fundo do mar tem dinheiro. The canoe turned over, sailor, but deep down in the sea you can find gold." So that has a meaning, trying to teach the guy that fell that, okay, you fell, but means nothing. You can come from the bottom and, with full power. Sometimes we sing about the past. Sometimes we pray.
For over a century, capoeira was Brazil's best-kept secret, but by 1975, the fight dance crossed the oceans into the US and Europe, evolving into what it is today, an art that's being appreciated by many different people all over the world through competitions, mainstream media, and capoeira schools.
Capoeira nowadays is completely cosmopolitan. The capoeira has no race, no color, no age group. In this group, my group, really, I have not a single Brazilian besides myself and my daughter. Everybody else are Latinos. I have Jamaican people. Most of the group, 80% of the group are American.
The exact meaning of the Portuguese word capoeira is not known. Some scholars believe it's derived from the word capo or capon, which means a castrated chicken, because the dance moves resemble those of two fighting roosters. But Bundo says its literal meaning is not important.
Capoeira is a way of one to express the energy that we have inside. So it's a way to throw that energy out, not exactly in a violent way, but in a powerful way. In my group, what I stress with them, what I train them for, is for them to release themselves, to free themselves, to free their own energy in a positive and a constructive way. So this is what capoeira is for me nowadays. Capoeira can be very spiritual.
Now, Grupo Bantu meets every week for their capoeira sparring. If you'd like to take part in it, just take a look at the website on your screen and take a look. It's a lot of fun. Coming up after the break, we've got Pochita with her cure for hangovers and a low libido. We've also got your community calendar. Don't go away.